This is very easy to fail. Don't let anybody apply for you, because oftentimes when people apply for you, they take over your case and then they begin to dictate what you should do. And sometimes they may dictate for you to do things that may cause you to get disqualified, like things that you may not be in agreement with, but because you have put your case in their hands, now they have absolute control over it, and now you have to dance to their beat. So that's why I want you to apply for this lottery on your own. All right, and I know you're capable. You just need a little bit of confidence, and I'm here to boost your morale, boost your confidence, and let you know that you can do this. Hello, welcome to Wofoi TV. My name is Ekuya. You can call me Wofoi or Ekuya Wofoi, but welcome to my YouTube channel. On this platform, I share information about the diversity visa lottery, or what we all call DV lottery or green card lottery. I share content about DV lottery, how to apply the requirements, and after you have been selected, what you need to do to get through to the end of your journey. And when you're done with your process, we definitely will be happy to hear from you. But today I'm going to talk to you about the DV 2025 registration, which is about to open pretty soon in October. All right, and I wanted to give you some information so that you know what to expect, you know what is required of you before you put in the application, and then when you can look forward to checking to see whether you have been selected or not, and how finding out whether you've been selected will be. But I want to just give you guys just like a snippet of the entire process so that you will know what to do. So DV lottery program was instituted to improve the diversity of American population. All right, basically citizens of countries with historically low immigration rates to get that opportunity to immigrate to America with their eligible immediate relatives. So this has been going on for years, and so here we are. The next registration is coming up. The DV lottery registration and the time for the entire program kind of runs for like 2 years period. Okay, now remember that as 1 year is beginning, one fiscal year is beginning, then another program is also, getting into their interview process. One thing that you need to understand is that the fiscal year for the U.S. federal government is in October. So it starts in October and then ends on September 30th. So the DV lottery kind of also runs like that. So the DV 2025 registration is going to be in this year, October 4th, and then it will run till September 30th, 2025 if we have enough visas available to that point. All right. Now, for you to be able to apply for the DV lottery, what do you have to do and where do you apply for the lottery? The first thing, the DV lottery application can be filled online, where you can use your phone, you can use your computer, your laptop, tablet, any electronic device that allows you to gain access to the internet. If your internet device can allow you to get to the website or get you to the internet, then you should be able to fill your application through that device. So you don't have to really go to an internet cafe. If your phone can allow you to do that, you can access the internet with your phone. You should be able to use your phone to fill that. All right. Now, since the application is online, that means that the photo requirement for the DV lottery has to be an electronic copy, which sometimes we call soft copy. Your photo must also be electronic copy because you're going to fill the application online electronically. So you have to be able to upload the image in the same format. All right. Now, before you apply for the DV lottery, these are the stipulations that it is assumed that you understand, because it is part of the instructions which will be made available the moment we approach the registration time. Okay. Now, the instructions has always been the same year and year after. So we expect that nothing is going to change. The requirement is that you should have successfully completed secondary school education, or you should have 2 years of work experience in an occupation that requires at least 2 years of preparation in order to do that job. And then the 2 years experience has to be within the last 5 years. I know that's a whole lot. The first part is that you must either has successfully completed senior high school education. And when it says successful completion, it means that your grades are equivalent to somebody who is a high schooler in America, and it is also enough for them to gain admission to a university in America. The minimum GPA to get into a university in America is 2.0, which is an average of C. So this is the comparison that you should compare your grades to. I'll have some videos talking about specific countries that I know of their grading requirements, so that you guys can check and see if your country has any specifics on that one. So that is when they say successful completion. They want you not just that you have graduated, but you did well. You'll be able to continue further your education with that. And then the other portion is you can use your job. So you don't need both of them. You either need your education or you need your occupation. So your occupation, a job that requires at least 2 years of preparation in order to do that job. Right? Let me give you an example. If somebody wants to be a teacher and you go to a teacher training college, guess what? You will be in teacher training college for at least 2 years to train you to become a teacher. So just think about that. If somebody wants to become a nurse, they'll go to a nursing school for at least 2 years. All right. Of course, it's even more than that, but at least 2 years to get you there. So you have to think about it that way. There's a website called onetonline.org that you can go to that website and check and see if your job qualifies. Please, I've already made a video showing you how to check to see if your job qualifies. I will remake that video so that kind of simplify some things and make it easier for you to be able to check this for yourself. All right. So on the DV lottery registration, you need to make sure that at least you have one of these qualifications before you apply. Now, there's no quality control checks to make sure that you qualify before you apply. It is assumed that since this information has been given in the instructions, you have read it and you have understood that you qualify before you apply. Of course, there are people who will not read it, who may not qualify, and they will still apply. The embassy wants to make sure that by the time you appear in front of them after you have won, you qualify. That is your responsibility to make sure that you qualify for it. Guys, I'm stressing this part because I want you to understand that qualifying is as important as winning. If you win and you don't qualify, you have basically wasted your time. You have, gassed yourself up. You've made yourself excited only to be disappointed in the end. So please make sure that you qualify before you apply. All right. So let's go to the online application. So when the application time opens, you will go to the website. I'll share the link here for you guys to be able to use that to go to the website. When you go to the website, guys, you are not going to pay any money. When you're filling the application, you are not going to pay any money. So let me go over some of the questions that you're going to be asked on there. The first part is going to ask about your biographical information. When I say your biographical information, I'm talking about your full name, your date of birth, where you were born, the city or the town or the village that you were born in, and then the country that you were born in. That is your own biographical information. All right. The next part is going to ask about your address. Guys, don't stress so much about the address part because it doesn't really matter. It was really important way back in the days where when you win the lotto, you will get a letter. You will get a physical postal letter, but now they don't do that anymore. So don't stress about how to fill the address portion. Guys, I will make a tutorial. I have several tutorials on my YouTube channel that you can watch and see how I provided that information and how I showed you guys to do it correctly. But if you don't do the address portion correctly, that is okay. It's no big deal. That does not affect your chances of winning or not winning. All right. The next portion is your eligibility. Guys, this is very important because this is a portion that could get you disqualified if you make a mistake. Eligibility, for most people, your eligibility is based on your native country. Your native country, right? Most people, their native country is the country that they are born in, but there are some instances somebody may be born in a country but they are not a native of that country. An example is if you are born in United Arab Emirates, the fact that you are born there doesn't mean that you are from that country. Okay, so Please don't get yourself confused here. What is your native country? So if the country that you were born in is your native country, the default selection for your eligibility will say that is your eligibility based on your country of birth or the country that you're born in. It will be a statement like that. The answer will be yes or no. Okay, if it will automatically select yes for you. But if you know the answer is no, let's say you're somebody who was born in UAE, where you don't get automatic citizenship because you were born there, then what you will do is that you will select no. You will select no and choose the country that you are a native of. Okay, please make sure that you do the right thing. So you go to the drop down and select your country. Guys, if you make a mistake here, you'll be disqualified. If you are from Ghana and then you make a mistake and choose Guyana, you're going to be disqualified. If you are from Togo, you make a mistake and choose Tonga, you're going to be disqualified. I am mentioning these countries because sometimes it is a little bit confusing for some people, that sometimes you may interchange your countries like that. Please pay attention to the country that is selected, especially if you selected no. If on that question, that is your eligibility based on the country of your country of birth, and you choose no, please make sure that you are selecting the correct country. All right, now I'll make a video and talk specifically about this portion, so that those of you who may be selecting a different eligibility based on your circumstances, you will understand, like, at what time can I select another country. Okay, but after you've done that, then the next question that it will ask about, guys, this is not in no particular order, okay? So it's not going to be in a chronological order. I'm talking about the way I'm explaining things. All right, so one other question that you need to you answer will be the highest level of your education. Guys, although in my earlier explanation I mentioned that you could use education or you could use occupation, on the DV Lottery electronic application, you're not going to see occupation there. Okay, please, that does not mean that you're disqualified. So you have to choose your appropriate highest education level. If you're somebody who only went to primary school, you choose primary school. If you're somebody who went to high school and you did not receive a diploma, you did not graduate, you can choose high school, no degree, all right, or no diploma, whatever that option is. If you're somebody who graduated, you have graduated for senior high school, and that is your highest level of education, it means you have not gone any further in education, then you can choose high school degree. Please, I know sometimes some people get confused about the degree, like high school degree, because in our countries we call them high school certificate, but they are saying high school degree. Guys, it's the same thing. Don't get caught up in semantics, okay? Don't get caught up in words. High school degree, high school diploma, high school certificate is the same thing. So when you see that it says high school degree, don't get confused, okay? If you have a bachelor's degree, you say, if you are still in the university, you haven't graduated, then you can choose some college courses. Some college courses means that you have actually taken some courses in the university, but you have not graduated. So if you are still in university, or you are taking, let's say you are in a diploma program, you haven't graduated, you can choose some college courses because you haven't graduated, right? Until you graduate, you are not a graduate, all right? I hope you understand. And then if you have a bachelor's degree, you give that. If you have a you are working on your master's, they have some graduate courses, you can choose that option. Guys, please understand, if you are still in school, I'm talking about from the degree level, like diploma, degrees going. If you're still in school, you have to choose the some graduate level courses, some college level courses, that kind of thing. Okay, when I say some college courses, mostly they are referring to the bachelor's degree level. All right, bachelor's degree level or diploma. In America, it will be like an associate degree, because most of the courses that you take for diploma, similar courses are are taught in the university. So don't get really confused about that. Make sure that you are providing accurate information so that you don't get disqualified for silly things. Okay, the next thing that that is very important is your marital status. Your marital status. A lot of people get disqualified for this. Your marital status is asking you your marriage. Have you been married before? Okay, your marital status is about marriage. It is not asking you just your relationship. Okay, I know I can have a boyfriend, I can have a fiancé. No, marital is about marriage. So if you are not married, there are options there. When you choose unmarried, it means that you have never been married before. Guys, if you are married, you don't want to make that mistake and choose unmarried. Lying intentionally or unintentionally could get you disqualified. There's no explanation, no excuses that would be acceptable for choosing the wrong thing. All right. I know sometimes some of you may find yourself in a complicated situation that it makes you, kind of lie because you find yourself in a sticky situation. Like maybe your husband is not here, your wife is not here, maybe you are almost divorced but you're not divorced, so the system is treating you as a married couple, right? So now you cannot get your almost ex-wife picture, or you are not getting your almost ex-husband's picture, but the system does not pardon you for these complicated situations. All right. If you're married to an American, there's an option that will allow you to, select if you are married to an American citizen or somebody who has a green card. So let's say that you are married to somebody who is already here in America, whether they have green card or they're American citizen, there's an option for you to select. And if you're married to somebody who is not an American citizen, who is not a green card holder or a legal permanent resident, then you choose that. Okay, for example, if I am married to somebody, I'm a Ghanaian, I am married to somebody who is also a Ghanaian, we don't have green cards, we are not American citizens, then definitely I'm going to choose the one that says married to someone who is not. Please know that not will be capitalized, just so you don't you don't get confused about that. Okay. Those of you who, if you are divorced, then it should be straightforward divorce. If you're legally separated, guys, legally separated means that it is being done by court. All right. In some countries, if you want to divorce, the judge, you bring your case to court, and then the judge gives you people like 1 year to see if you guys can reconcile or not. If you are not able to reconcile, then the marriage will be dissolved at that point. That moment of separation is what is called legal separation. That moment where a judge has ordered that, you know what, before I can dissolve this marriage, I want to give you guys maybe 1 year. Please, in some countries, maybe it might be less than that or it might be more than that. But remember that legal separation is when it is done by the court. You have been ordered by the court to separate for a time period before they decide if you guys can reconcile your differences or if the divorce can be, continued from there. So if you and your husband have had a fight and you are living you're living somewhere, your husband is living somewhere, please, that is not legal separation, because the legal part must include that judicial component. It must include the justice system. You and your husband fighting, or you and your wife fighting, and you go down, there's no lawyer involved here, there's no judge involved here. All right. So when you're choosing that, just be mindful that if you choose that, you'll be required at the interview to bring evidence to show that did you really have that. Okay. So if you are almost divorced and you are not divorced, you are not divorced yet, find out, do you have legal separation? So those of you who may be in that situation, how about you talk to a lawyer in your country and see if you can get some documentation for legal separation, so that it will not interfere with your application. Because when you are legally separated, it may not require you to put your spouse's photo on the application. But if you are not legally separated, even if you have fought and you are living your separate lives, you still are considered a married couple. All right. So if you are married, then you definitely need to, if you're married or you are considered a married person or couple, then you must include the passport photo with the same specification as you on the application. I'll talk about the photo in a little bit. The next one is about the children. They're going to ask you the number of children. Guys, when they ask you about your children here, this is something that can get you disqualified. You must include all of your natural children. Your natural children means your blood, your own blood, like biological children who are under the age of 21 or who are not married. Okay? So if you have a child who is 18 years old and that child is married, that person is no longer considered a child. It's considered like an adult. All right? So if you have children who are under the age of 21 and they are not married, then you can include them. You can count them as your children, and you need their passport photo too, as long as they are not U.S. citizens. Any child or any children who are U.S. citizens or have green cards, you are okay. You are exempted from not including them. Okay, so let's say I have an American baby. I came here, gave birth to an American child, went back to Ghana. I am not American, my baby is an American, and when I'm filling the DV lottery, I can say I don't have a child. I can say I have 0 children because my child is already a U.S. citizen, and that is the only child that I have. Okay, so if your child has a green card or a U.S. citizen, then you can put 0 there. But other than that, you're supposed to declare your children on the application. Okay. Also, if you have stepchildren, guys, stepchildren are children that you gain out of marriage. So if I'm married to a man who has children, his children become my stepchildren. Guys, your boyfriend or your girlfriend's children are not your stepchildren. Your ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend's children are not your stepchildren. Children, they are connected through marriage. Okay, so long as the marriage is there, they are your stepchildren. If the marriage is gone, that relationship is also gone. All right, unless you adopted them. I hope you understand. Let's say I married a man, he has 2 children. Those children are my stepchildren. If I separate from the man, we are divorced completely, then guess what? Those children are no longer my stepchildren. Unless whilst we were married, I adopted those children to make them my legal responsibility. So even if I am divorced from their father, they are still my children because of the adoption that we did. I hope you understand. So please be mindful of that. The same age limitation and marriage limitation applies to stepchildren too. So if your stepchild is 21 or older, you cannot include them. If they are under 21, you can include them as long as they are not married. So any stepchild who is married cannot be included on the DV lottery. So please be mindful of that. The other thing is your adopted children, legally adopted children. Guys, not your house help, not your brother's children, not your sister's children. You should have legally adopted that child. You should go through the legal process. Guys, whenever you hear the word legally, it means that there is a court, judicial system. You should go through the judicial process, go through the court, go through a judge or a lawyer, for them to go through the proper channels of adopting somebody. So the fact that you've been caring for your sister's child doesn't mean that that's your child. Guys, please don't make mistake and include other people's children. Your sister's child that you've been caring for, your late brother's children that you've been caring for, they are not legally yours. Okay, so if you want to claim them as your children, then you should have adopted them. All right, do that in the legal way so that you can bear the legal responsibility of a parent. Okay, I know that is something that one day I'll talk deep a little bit about it. All right, now remember that anybody that you put on this application, I'm talking about your spouse and in the children, you will have to include their passport photo. Now the passport photo requirement for you, the main applicant, the children and the spouse, is that the photo should be 600 pixels by 600 pixels. If you're looking at a hard copy paper photo, it will be like 2 inches by 2 inches or 51 millimeters by 51 millimeters. Please make sure your photo should be a perfect square, and your head should not be like oversized, right? Make sure that it's really proportional. Your body, from the lower portion of your body to the upper portion of your body, the proportion is, not way off, not over 60%, right? You don't want over 60%. It's just the top of the head, and here is just maybe 30%. No, you want to make it proportional. So make sure that when you go to a photo studio, just tell that photographer what they need to do, and they do that. Your background should be white or off-white. Make sure there's no obstruction on your face with your hair. If you're somebody who uses religious hair covering, you are free to do so, but make sure that this portion of your face is visible. Guys, I'll make a video and talk in details about that portion. But remember, all your photos must be electronic. Okay, so you have no excuse. Your son who is not at home with you can take his photo and send to you. Your husband who is not at home can take his photo and send to you. Your wife who is not at home can take her photo and send to you. So you have no excuse. You have a cell phone. You know how to text photos. You know how to email photos. So you can do that. And then you will fill the application. Remember, they will ask for the same biographic information of the people you put on the application. So they will ask for your child's full name, their date of birth, the place of birth, but they will not ask for the address. They only need the principal applicant's address. All right, the highest education level is only the main applicant, which is the principal applicant. When it comes to the marital status, it's only the principal applicant. But know that when you say, you know, you have 3 children, you have to fill for all the 3 children, and then you have to fill for your spouse, where they were born, all of that. And then when you're done, it will, you know, you click next. It's simple, self-explanatory. Guys, like I said, I have videos there that you can watch to help you go through this process. But I will be here to guide you all the way to the end. And if you have questions, please put them down in the comment section below. There are certain things that I'm going to break them apart and talk about them specifically, like individually, so that you don't have to, you know, sit through this video and then you're like, sister, I still have a lot of questions. I know I've said a whole lot, and I'm sure you have a whole lot of questions, but I'm going to make short video snippet of the different topics within the application process, so that I can explain certain things deeper in details to you, so that you can understand what are the expectations for you guys. And after you have submitted, after you have filled everything and reviewed, and you see that everything is correct, you click submit. When you submit, you're going to get your confirmation page. Guys, it will not be emailed to you. Remember, oh yes, one thing, on the application you will put your email address. Please make sure you type the correct email address. But the fact that you type your email address doesn't mean that they're going to email you your confirmation page. They will not. So please make sure that you take a screenshot of the confirmation page, or you print the page before you close it. The moment you close it, your confirmation number is gone. It's going to be difficult for you to retrieve it, especially if you did not type in your email address. But let's say for some reason you miss out on your confirmation number. Maybe the internet went off, or your phone battery died, or your laptop battery died, something happened and you couldn't get your confirmation page. So long as you type in the correct email address, you'll be able to use that to retrieve your information, as long as you remember. So guys, after you have submitted your DV lottery application, write down some of the information. Write down how you type your name on there. Write down the date of birth that you type in. Guys, if I were you, I will write those information down before I type it in, so that I will make sure when I'm done, I will make sure and compare to, you know, make sure that I didn't make any mistakes, because people even make mistakes with their own date of birth, right? Please be thorough. Pay attention to what you're typing, so that you don't make mistakes, because those mistakes can make it difficult for you to be able to check to see whether you've been selected when the announcement time comes around. All right, now after you submit it, like I said, you keep your confirmation page securely. It is yours to keep. Nobody's going to email you your confirmation page. Now next year in May, they're going to announce the winners, and when they announce, it is not going to be a notice board for you to go and check if your name is there. You will go to the same website and you type in the confirmation number that it gave you. The confirmation number for the DV2025 registration, it will start with 2025, and then it may continue with some alphabets or some numbers. Guys, please make sure that you save that information securely, because that is what you're going to use to check to see whether you've been selected, and then we will go on from there. All right guys, this is all that I wanted to share with you today. If you have enjoyed this video, please make sure that you click the subscribe button. Follow me on Facebook, Wofoi TV, everywhere on all social media platforms. Follow me on TikTok, Ikia Wofoi. Guys, I love you so much. I appreciate you. If you're somebody who won the DV 2024, I'm talking about those who applied for the DV lottery last year, and you've won and you want to be part of my Telegram group, please send me an email with proof of selection. Guys, don't just send me an email and tell me that you want to be added without giving me proof. send me an email with proof. Okay, sometimes when people send me an email, they don't give me proof. Maybe I might be busy, something might distract me, and I might not get back to sending you another email telling you to go and bring the proof, right? So it's best that you send me an email with the proof first, so I don't have to, like, we don't need to go back and forth before, to do just one simple thing. All right, so that you can be added to the Telegram group. But guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. But remember, I'll be posting more videos about the process so that you understand that you don't fall victim. Guys, as I always say, this is very easy to fail. Don't let anybody apply for you, because oftentimes when people apply for you, they take over your case and then they begin to dictate what you should do. And sometimes they may dictate for you to do things that may cause you to get disqualified, like things that you may not be in agreement with, but because you have put your case in their hands, now they have absolute control over it, and now you have to dance to their beat. So that's why I want you to apply for this lottery on your own. All right, and I know you're capable. You just need a little bit of confidence, and I'm here to boost your morale, boost your confidence, and let you know that you can do this. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye. Bye bye.